Well, good afternoon, Rotary District 7770, and welcome to Conversations with Rotary Action People for Wednesday, January 13th. We're pleased to be joined by a special guest all the way from Evanston in Illinois, the Rotary International Public Image Chair, Nina Hazhala. Nina, we're excited for your presentation. Thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon. And we'll be right over to you in just a moment. Let me do a few announcements and I'll kick it back to you.
Thank you.
My name is Donald Hovis, your CWRAP host, and I'm from the CWRAP Rotary Club in Myrtle Beach. My fellow CWRAP team member is our public image chair for our Rotary district here in 7770 from the 5 Points Rotary Club in Columbia, South Carolina, the wonderful Mary Gask. How about those of you on here? Thanks for being here. Over on Facebook, thank you for being here as well. In the chat box today, so Nina knows who is on the line, I want your name, your Rotary Club, and if you are a public image chair in your club, we want you to say that. If you hold a leadership position within the district, we want you to say your leadership position within the district. And if not, and you're a wonderful Rotarian, we just need your name and your Rotary Club because we're all wonderful Rotarians at the end of the day. So how about use the chat box for that? Now, through today's presentation, this is going to be a very interesting topic. I really am excited that Nina is here. I've had her speak. I've heard her speak before. So we're glad to have her. If you have a question, we want you to post it in the chat box and I will ask Nina your question at the end of her presentation. But Nina, now I'm going to turn it over to you. And welcome to South Carolina virtually.
Yay, thank you so much. Let me share my screen now. Okay. You see the screen, right? Everything is working.
Good to go.
Perfectly. Hello, everyone. My name is Nina Hazhala. I'm a public image coordinator specialist with Regional Leader Support Team at Rotary International. I joined Rotary family in 2019. I hold master's degree in media management. Before joining Rotary, I worked as a project manager for marketing and event agencies. I also worked in radio broadcasting and publishing both in United States and Ukraine, where I'm originally from. My main responsibility as a public image coordinator specialist is to provide expert support and guidance to the Rotary Public Image Coordinators, a worldwide network of executive-level Rotary volunteers dedicated to enhancing Rotary's public image. In my free time, I love traveling and take photos. So today I decided to combine my passion and my profession together, and I'm devoting this presentation to the importance of photography for enhancing Rotary's public image. I would recommend to have some paper and a pen or a pencil, as you will need to write down a few things. I would like to start with this conversation with the big why. Why taking good photos is important for promoting Rotary's public image. Let's look at a photographic image and explore its communication value within a synergy of other important Rotary's public image components. I will start kind of backwards and explore those main components in this general overview first, because I want to create a big picture at the beginning. I want you to see that all those concepts are connected and intertwined, and then we will explore every concept separately. Let's start with the concept of public image, because enhancing public image is the final goal. So public image is the opinion that people have of an organization based on its action. Action is one of the key words in this definition, and it's a great transition to the next important Rotary public image concept, which is people of action. People of Action campaign. It's a public image campaign that strives to bring the Rotary story to life for those who don't know us or who don't know us well. It does this by showing Rotarian as the people of action we are. And as you can see also, like, this word action is coming through again. The concept of visual story is kind of pretty straightforward. It's the art of communicating a series of messages using visual media, visual images. You're all familiar with the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Human brains process images significantly faster than text. So photos are the ideal tool for telling stories. The concept of visual storytelling is more relevant now than ever, especially in the light of our highly digital and virtual age, in which there is a constant battle for audiences' attention. And finally, photographs. I perceive photographs as little bricks and foundation of effective and successful communication of Rotary's and Rotarian story to the public. Hence, it's an effective tool of enhancing and promoting Rotary's public image in itself. Like poems and novels are created with words, captivating and engaging visual stories are made with great photos. Now, on this slide, you can see how those concepts are glued together and serve the final goal. We take great photos, we create a visual story with those images and deliver a message to a target audience. With those stories, we show Rotarians as people of action, and that's how we generate public, like how public sees us in general and how public form its opinion about Rotary and Rotarians. Now let's take a little deeper look at those concepts to understand how they would determine the content and the subject of photographs on one hand, and how photographs in return can serve their goals on the other. As we determined previously, public image is the opinion that people have of an organization based on its actions. It's how external, in our case, non-Rotarians perceive us. And now a little exercise. What marketing information did we get from this definition? So it's the audience, right, which is external, external public, non-Rotarians. And also we got the subject that influences the audience's perception, which is Rotarians' actions. Again, right, like actions. What does it tell you in terms of photographs? How does this definition would influence and define an image you want to snap? Think about it. You don't have to write, I want you just to get this information, analyze, and think in terms of an image you want to take. So why strong public image is important? Strong Rotary's public image inspires to get involved, motivates public to support our efforts and projects, engages new members, volunteers, and partners, attracts new donors, and positively distinguishes Rotary from other servicing opportunities. Please look at the strong public image benefits on the screen and use them to make up questions taking into consideration your own club's needs. For example, whom do I want to inspire in my community to get involved in what we do? Whom do I want to motivate to support the club's efforts, as an example? Whom do I want to engage? Maybe new members, volunteers, or partners. Whom do I want to attract? Maybe new donors. Think about those questions, and most important, think about the answers, because they will define your target audience, potential recipients of those visual stories you want to create. Those are the people you want to communicate your stories to. Let's take 30 seconds here, and I want you to define and write down at least one group in your community that you want to engage in your club's activities in any role by showing them with your visual stories what you do, any visual stories and any group. And again, you just don't need to put that information in the chat box. It's a little exercise for yourself that I hope you will implement later in your club's work. Okay, I think we can go forward, and we're going to talk about People of Action. People of Action campaign gives the answer to that frequent question. I heard about Rotary, but what do you exactly do? Well, we end polio, we fight hunger, and we do so much more, you name it. A good People of Action visual story shows Rotary members as the achievers we are, leaders who work together in communities to inspire, transform, connect, and celebrate what's possible, individuals who get things done and have a great time working, growing, and learning together. On the screen, you see the attributes of a great People of Action story. A great People of Action visual story would focus on community challenges, show the actions, include beneficiaries, show the positive impact in your community. I want to pause for a few moments again here, and I want you to think and write down one example of the project your club did last year, which improved life of your community. I'm pretty sure you had a lot of projects, but one great project would be enough. I also want you to do some brainstorming around that project, and you're welcome to write down your thoughts while I'm kind of leading you through that. So why did you come up with that idea? How did you assess the need of your community for that project? What was the challenge that your community had? Why did you want to help? What did you exactly do to solve that challenge? Who helped you to solve it? And what was the outcome? The positive impact on your community. While thinking about all those aspects of your project, try to visualize it. What images would express your actions in the best possible way? You may even draw a little sketch for your future visual project. So now your club is almost ready to promote itself to the external public as People of Action and tell them what you do for the positive change in their community. That's the way to touch their hearts, to inspire them emotionally with your impactful and inspiring visual story. But why do we talk mostly about visual storytelling? Visual storytelling. Because humans are visual creatures. Our brains are more equipped to process images than to process words. 90% of the information transmitted to the brain is visual. Visuals are processed 60,000 times faster than text in the human brain. Another important fact, the average human attention span has reduced, meaning you have little time to catch your audience attention. Visuals allow you to get your message across in ways that impact viewers quickly and help them to recall that information later. For example, if you heard something today, In 3 days, you'd only remember about 10% on what's being told. But if the same information was supported with a relevant image, you'd retain 65% of that information 3 days later. And now look how much easier you can process that same information that I just said with a supporting image. It's also important to add that visual story helps create an instant emotional connection. While we establish the importance of visual storytelling, one might ask, why not use just a bunch of stock images and call it a day? Because you need your visual story to tell your club's story to your target audience. And taking your own photographs and using them to tell a story of your club might seem complex and challenging, but it doesn't have to be so. By using some tips listed on the screen and following a few guidelines, you can take great pictures with less intimidation. Oh, and you do not necessarily need a professional camera, because modern smartphones with their advanced cameras are absolutely perfect for the job. So, what to shoot? First of all, while taking photos, keep in mind your target audience and the subject, which is Rotarians' actions, the main word we'll learn today. As you see a great moment happening naturally, don't be afraid to ask people to continue doing the action that caught your eye in the first place. Include a few people, avoid large group shots. It is important that you capture people's faces in the photo. If they wear caps, ask them to tip it up a little and take them off entirely, if you can get their face in the shot. Pandemic edition, please wear masks. So faces right now are not that important thing to show. However, I hope we will move from this point soon enough. Capture Rotarians having a good time. Often people who are working and focused have a serious look in their faces, and a serious look can be mistaken for anger or not enjoying what they are doing. So to lighten the mood, talk to people while you're photographing them. You might say things to get them to laugh or look to each other or engage in a conversation. Words and logos on clothing and hats can be challenging. Make sure people only wear Rotary branded clothing and not that other with like some other companies' logos. Don't have everyone at the project wear the exact same branded shirt either. Mix it up with natural and neutral colors, add some small pops of color in shirts or maybe caps. And it's a great idea to use colors that close to Rotary's color palette, or the ones that complement it, like blue, orange, or beige and gray colors. Our photographs should focus on the connection we make in our communities. Our images should tell a genuine visual story. Capturing compelling images is one of the most important and universal ways to tell our story. Now a little bit more about like technical tips how to take photos. Whether you're a beginner or more experienced with photography, here are some easy tips for you. Rule of thirds. This is my favorite rule, to tell the truth. The rule helps you take eye-catching pictures by using one of the most effective rules of composition. If you want to take pictures that have a wow factor in them, the rule of thirds is the composition secret you need to take advantage of. To use the rule of thirds, imagine 4 lines, or just look at the photo on the screen, right? You see like 2 vertical and 2 horizontal lines, and they create 9 equal squares. Some images will look best with the focal point in the center square, but placing the subject off center at one of the intersecting points of the imaginary lines that you see will often create a more aesthetically composed photograph. For example, on this photo you see on the screen, you can notice that the line between the sky and the ground goes alongside one of the horizontal lines, right? And then the subject's body is aligned with a vertical line on the left. And the subject's head, which is our focal point, is right on the intersection of two lines. A picture composed using the rule of thirds is usually more pleasing to a human eye. Rule number 2, no camera shake. Camera shake or blur is something that can plague any photographer. While holding your camera or phone, place your elbows on the table or any other surface you can find. Find a support, and it will help you significantly. Focus on a subject. Many of the best photos include just one interesting subject or action. Be sure you tap the screen of your smartphone to focus your camera on the subject. That will help to ensure that it's focused and the lighting is optimized. Also, your subject shouldn't fill the entire frame of the photo. 2/3 of the photo should be negative or empty space. That helps the subject stand out more. Embrace negative space. Negative spaces simply refers to the areas around and between the subjects on the image, and it can take a photo from good to great. When you include a lot of empty space in a photo, your subject will stand out more and evoke a stronger reaction from the viewer. And what does negative space looks like? It's often a large expanse of open sky, as you can see on the photo on the screen, or it's empty field or a large wall or water. It will also provide enough space to add one of the people of action verbs if you want to create a poster or a people of action image. And what natural light? Take advantage of the source of natural light you can find. Keep in mind that the best lighting is in the morning and evening when the sun is low in the sky. The high sun will make photos too contrasting. So it's a good tip to plan your photo shoot to create the visual story. And the last but not least, always clean your phone camera lens before taking photos. The most common and easiest way to clean the lens of your smartphone is by using a microfiber cloth, wipe off dust or sand, and brush unwanted fingerprints. You can't believe that your images will be so much sharper after you have done some dusting. Okay, we have a few more minutes and I want you to take a little test. On this screen, you see 4 images. Please choose those that are not good for telling people of action story. And please write those numbers in the chat box. Donald, when you see the post, please let me know the numbers. Do we have anything? Yay, we do.
They're starting to come in now.
Great. So we're looking for the wrong images. Stories that do not tell a great Rotary story. Okay. So what numbers do we have?
Mostly 2s and 3s with a 1 or 2 1s.
Yay, so mostly it's right. Number 2, a fake posing handshake. Handshaking photos don't really show Rotary members in action that benefits their communities. Yeah, it's action, right? Handshake, but how does it benefit? And number 3, a huge group of people, no faces, no emotions showed, and we really don't know what those people do and what their actions and how they help the community in that way. I do see a lot of photos like this taken by Rotarians during conventions, events, and training, and I get it. For Rotarians who participate in those events, those images hold great memories of unity, excitement, or meeting old friends, exchanging ideas. But what do those images communicate to the external audience, right? To non-Rotarians, they have no idea what's going on there. So it really does not tell an inspiring story to the public. There is no story for them at all. And at the end, an important aspect of photos, it's a legal aspect. It's important to know that while using photos for public image purposes, be sure you are the owner or have a right to use the photos. So what does that mean? The copyright to an image is owned by the person who take the photograph. To get the right, so if a club member take a photo, the right belongs to that person, not to the club. The best way to get the ownership is to sign the release form. Rotary International does not provide that release form because different states have different rules. So we usually advise to get the recommendation from a local legal advisor. Also, if the minors present in the photograph, you have to obtain permission from each parent or guardian of each minor in the photos to use in the images. I don't want to talk a lot about that because it's impossible to memorize. I sent the cheat sheet with all the links. So if you're interested, you can get that information. I know that it will be sent out as a follow-up. Also, in that cheat sheet, there will be resources listed. I just want to say that Brand Center is the best resource because I think that the best way to learn how to capture right photos is looking at right photos and doing the same. So that is why just go to the Brand Center, go to the images section and find your favorite ones. Try to capture kind of the same, something similar while executing your own project. And the more photos you take, the better and more creative you'll become. There is a list of various documents and guidelines I want you to review. And again, it's going to be all listed with deep links on that cheat sheet that is going to be sent out. And that's it. Thank you so much for participating, for inviting me. And I think we have a few minutes to, if you guys have any questions. I hope it was not a lot of information. I tried to collect everything and just to create the bigger picture. So it's not just about how to take photos, but why it is important for People of Action campaign, why it is important for creating and enhancing Rotary's public image in the world.
Well, Nina, thank you for your presentation. Excellent information. I think I said this when I met you before on a fellow Zoom call. As a professional photographer, what you're talking about is music to my ears. So really, really valuable information. And I can also tell you guys those follow-up resources she is talking about have been forwarded over to Mary. So Mary, they're in your email. They were just sent just a few moments ago. So there's some great resources that will be coming your way. I think you guys know how important public image is in all of our clubs and from the district level. So what I will say is I love this statement, and I think it's a very powerful statement. All clubs in our district should have a public image chair or have a public image chair. But every single Rotarian is a public image chair. Okay? We're all responsible for Rotary's public image. We're all public image people. Just like there's people that own marketing companies out there, but we're our own marketing company. Every single one of us is our own marketing company. So, and you mentioned some other great resources about wearing Rotary gear. If you're unfamiliar on where to find Rotary themed merchandise, your number one stop and shop should be Russell Hampton. That's your number one go-to. If you don't, just go to Google Russell Hampton. It's got everything you could think of Rotary themed out there. And they can even do some customized things for you in some cases. So any questions, if you would post those in the chat box now for Nina. And I know we had a few public image chairs on the call here today, so thank you for being here. If you're in a club and you don't see your public image chair here represented, know we record this, it posts on the district YouTube channel, and you can also access this on the Rotary International District 7770 Facebook page. All right, so hearing no questions, Nina, thanks again for your time. And a reminder, we'll get those follow-up resources sent out to you. And I hope you guys will join us back on Friday for the next conversation with Rotary Action People at 11 a.m. There was a challenge on Monday. There's a challenge on Wednesday, too. The challenge on Friday is to make sure you ride your bicycle on Friday. Why? Because we're going to hear from Arnold Calmer with Kent Bicycles on Friday during our CWRAP program. So have a great day, Rotarians. Nina, did you want to say anything in closing?
No, I just wanted to say thank you very much for inviting. And I hope that those little notes that you made during the presentation, defining your group that you want to involve, right? And defining the project that you made, you can put it all together and create an interesting visual story and promote it to the world.
Excellent. And I'll leave all of you guys with one nugget. She mentioned it there, but I'm going to leave you with one nugget to take away and write down. You may have seen that picture that had Rotary and that had some Rotary words going across it. That can be found on a website online that is free for everybody to use. That website is POAphotos.com. POA stands for People of Action Photos.com. You can put all kind of Rotary themed logos on your images, and those should be the images that you see posted and shared that's got the Rotary branding on them. So POA photos, there's a nugget for a takeaway for you. All right, Rotarians, have a wonderful Wednesday. In closing, I will do the Rotary four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Take care, guys. We'll see you on Friday at 11 for the next conversation with Rotary Action People. Take care, folks. That's a wrap. Bye-bye.